Hey guys, Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, doing my very first book haul. I normally do makeup videos, but we're going to kind of switch things up. It's come to my attention recently that I am very behind on my reading, and especially my epic YA reading. And thanks to those of you that are already on YouTube, I have got back in the swing of things, and I've been doing it with a vengeance for like the past 3 months. And so I finally decided to make this video because I wound up having a giant book haul for May, completely unexpected. And I do want to throw out the normal disclaimers out there. I normally don't spend more than $5 on a book unless it is something that I'm really invested in already, like a sequel or a prequel or something like Harry Potter or Hunger Games that I'm really into, and I'm kind of, in the fandom with you guys in general. And then there are a few books that I really love that I'll spend a little bit more money on. So most of these books, probably about 90% of these books, were between $1.50. I live in Southern California, and we are lucky to have a lot of cities very, very close together that each one has a library. And each library has a used bookstore where people will donate their books for free, and then the library will in turn sell them anywhere between 50 cents and usually around $2, occasionally a little bit more. And there's probably about 10 libraries within 15 to 20 minutes of my apartment, and that has been a major problem because I have been on a used book buying thrill and I found some really, really good books in excellent condition. I mainly stick to buying hardback books. I like the look of them better. I think they hold up better, and just the aesthetics of everything is what I prefer. But I will buy a paperback if it's something that's very cheap and something that I'm really wanting to be reading. I do prefer to read paperbacks at the beach, although I've been known to bring many a hardback there as well. There are 29 books over here, and I don't think I have ever had this many books in a year, let alone a month. But I will be reading these. A lot of these I have not read. Most of them I haven't read. If I do not like them, or sometimes even if I don't love them, I will just donate them back to the library, and I consider that kind of part of my donations for the year, and then they can resell them and make money again. So I don't want to promote like book hoarding by any means, but I do like that I'm giving back to the community and the library and promoting libraries in general, and also getting some really, really beautiful books, and I'm able to read a lot of different things and all that kind of stuff. And 9 of these books were given to me. So I didn't do quite that bad, but 20 is pretty bad, considering just where I live in an apartment, in a very small apartment, so I don't have a lot of room for books, and my husband now says that he thinks we have to sleep on them now because they're everywhere. But there was a big book sale at one of the libraries, so they had, I think I got about 10 there, so I did get more than I would on average, and I'm kind of, like I said, getting back in the swing of things. So enough blabbing, there's my explanation. Okay. First, I'm going to start off with the books that were given to me. I work in a hair salon where we do blowouts and styles and makeup here in Orange County, and I have a lovely client by the name of Claire who is clearing out her bookshelves. She had a lot of bookshelves filled with wonderful books, but her eyesight is not the best anymore, and she prefers to read on her Kindle. It's easier on her eyes, and she just finds it more enjoyable. I like reading books in my hand more than I do on a screen, so she has brought me graciously a bunch of her books. I am not sure that I'm going to read all of these, and definitely not going to read all of them right away. I'm not sure where my interest is with a lot of these books, but most of them she really enjoyed, and they look really, really good. So first one up is I have Arena by Karen Hancock. I think this is just a standalone book. I've heard really good things about it. She loved it. She said she's read it, Claire, my client, has read it 3 times, so I'm really excited to read that one. Then I have The Enclave, or Enclave, by Karen Hancock. And I don't know anything about this one. This is just another one that she donated to me. This is not to be confused with Enclave or Enclave, however you say it, that is more recent, but might be checking this one out. This is Rooms by James L. Rubart. This one looks kind of cool, kind of science fiction-y meets a little bit faith-based and spiritual, so I'll be interested to see how I feel about this one. I don't think it's as creepy as it looks. This kind of reminds me of The Shack, which is kind of more of like a Christian-based fiction book as well. And The Shack looks terrifying from the cover and the name, but it's really not scary at all. And I'm thinking that's kind of where this one is going. I don't know which order these go in, but we have the Wizard Heir and the Dragon Heir, both by Cinda Williams Chima. This is the second and the third book in the Heir trilogy, I believe, and they both look super awesome, and they have epic covers, and they're fantasy YA, and I love that. And I'm assuming that there's going to be dragons, since there's the Dragon Heir, and I'm really excited to read those, probably more in the fall. This is The Skin Map. This is an adult book, I believe, by Stephen R. Lawhead. I am not sure. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to read this one or not, but probably will. Just going to kind of keep that lower on my TBR list. The last three that she gave me are the, this is Anomaly, Illuminary, and Revolutionary. This is a YA dystopian series, I believe. I kind of like going into books not knowing much about them. They have really pretty spines as well. So I'm interested to check these guys out. Hopefully my stack will stay together. Okay, next up, there is a little free library, not tree, free library. And if you don't know what that is, you should definitely Google it. It's really cool. There's these little library stands that people will fill, and you're supposed to take a book and donate a book, or vice versa, whatever. Mine's pretty stocked, so I didn't leave a book, but I'll return this. I found Nightlife. This is my sticker for when I want to read it, or Nightlight. This is a mocking of Twilight. I actually really enjoy Twilight. I'm gonna do a whole video on that, but it looks kind of funny, and it says that's about Edward and Belle Goose. And I think I'll find it enjoyable, even though I like Twilight, and I do think that this cover is hilarious. Okay, next we're going to go into ones that I actually purchased and found either at a Goodwill, a dollar bookstore, or the library bookstore. So first off, I found My Penguin Osbert. This is a children's book. I love collecting children's books, and I believe this is kind of a wintry, Christmassy book. It has been on my Amazon list to read, and my Goodreads list to read, and my Amazon's list to purchase. My husband loves penguins, and you can see there's a little penguin that kind of sings on the corner, and I'm really excited to read this one. I'm imagining this will probably go in my shelf with all my Christmas books. So I walked into the dollar bookstore, and I could not believe my eyes when I saw Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I love this series. This is the second book in the Red Queen series. It is not very old. I think it came out in 2015. So I was shocked. Usually I don't see books, used books that are more, they have to be more like 4 years old or extremely popular in order for me to find them used. I did pay more for this one. I think it was $4. But I love this series, and this right now, as of May, is my #1 series that and #1 book that I have read so far, out of like 35 books or something that I've read this year. So I was going to purchase this one and pay more full price, but I found it. So I found the second one. I was really excited. Then I walked into the library bookstore, and sitting on the newer release shelf was Red Queen, and I got this book for $2, I think. So excited. So now I have Glass Sword and Red Queen, and all I need is King's Cage, and they're beautiful and they look perfect on my shelf. I finally found Divergent. I have had Insurgent and Allegiant for like weeks and weeks, and I could not find Divergent at the used bookstore no matter what I tried, and it's been irritating me that I didn't have a full collection. I have it. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this trilogy, or if I'm going to either sell it or donate it back or give it to someone else to read. I did enjoy it, but maybe not as much as some others. So we'll just see about that. Then I picked up Peaches by Jodi Lynn Anderson. This is the first in a trilogy. I think it's the Peaches trilogy. This is kind of reminiscent of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. It's about 3 girls and their friendship and kind of growing up. And it's about a peach farm in Georgia. And I just finished this one yesterday. I'm going to talk about it because I got it a couple weeks ago. I'll talk about it in what I read for May. But yeah, really cute. I liked the cover, and Jodi Lynn Anderson has written a couple other popular novels that I've been wanting to pick up, so I figured why not. I got Peter and the Shadow Thieves. This is by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson, and this is a Disney Hyperion book. I love Peter and the Starcatchers. I don't think that I actually read this one when I was reading them. I was listening to them, but I don't think I read the second one, but I'm assuming based on how much I adored the first one, like so much, that I'm really going to enjoy it. And I listened to it the first time, so I'm excited to read it because I have Peter and the Starcatchers, and this is the second one. I'm not sure how many is in the series, but the covers are beautiful. They're gold and shiny, and they're thick, and they've got the old-timey pages, and I was really excited. I've been on the hunt for this for like a year. I got the second Summerhood of the Sisterhood. This is the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I don't know what they call them when there's 4 books, but there's 4 of them. I have the 3rd one and the 4th one, which are all that I find in used bookstores, and I could not find the 1st and the 2nd one to save my life. And I don't know, at first I thought that maybe they didn't even make them in hardback form, and I finally found the 2nd one, and I was really excited. It was a good deal, and it's in good shape. Excited to reread those sometime. At the Goodwill, I got Ramona's World by Beverly Cleary. This is a middle-aged book, middle grade book, I'm sorry. I love Beverly Cleary. I grew up on her. This is something that isn't talked about as much in the booktube world because I'm a little bit older than some of the others on here. And Ramona's World is such a good series, and I think that I'm going to enjoy it even now that I'm older. So I'm gonna go through and read these. I think this is the 3rd one in the Ramona series. This one I was super excited about. I got The Ember and the Ashes. This is one I paid a little more for. I think it was like $3. Which is just excellent. I mean, it is in absolute perfect condition. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about this series by Sabaa Tahir, I believe. And I'm very excited to read this, probably more in the fall. I got City of Glass, which is book 3 in the Mortal Instruments. I have not read the Mortal Instruments. Speaking of catching up, I'm going to do a whole video if those of you that haven't read the Mortal Instruments that want to follow along and read with me and have this epic journey would be awesome. But I got the 3rd book to kind of start me off. I have the 1st book already in paperback form, but now I have the 3rd one, and I'm assuming I'm going to love it. I got Parallel by Lauren Miller. This is a beautiful, like, shiny cover. This is a dystopian book where a girl is in 2 realities. So I think one day she wakes up and she's in one reality, and then one day she wakes up and she's in a different reality. And I love dystopian YA. I got Shadow Scale by Rachel Hartman with this cool dragon. It's about kids that turn into dragons in high school and stuff. Seraphina is the 1st book in this series, and it just looks awesome, and I've heard great things, and this cover is so beautiful. So I hope that I like it. I need to get Seraphina first, but I bought this anyway. Okay, we're almost there. I got Shopaholic and Sister. I believe this is the 4th book in the Sophie Kinsella's Shopaholic series. This is one of those series that I want to binge read, and since this one was in perfect condition with these beautiful end papers, I went ahead and got it. I got Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. I read Linger, and this is the 2nd book in the Wolves of Mercy Falls series. And I read Shiver, which is the 1st book, and Linger. I have not read Forever. I did not really like them that much, but I was very, very judgmental with my reading at that time, and I've heard such wonderful things about the Raven cycle, so I don't know if maybe this trilogy just wasn't as good, but I want to try it again, and I absolutely, let's be honest, like, this cover is beautiful, Shiver is beautiful, Forever I think is beautiful, and I hope that I like them because I would like them to sit on my shelves and be pretty. Two beautiful old books I got. I got Arabian Nights. This is the Reader's Digest edition. I got this because I've never read, or Tales from the Arabian Nights. I got this because I've never read anything from the Arabian Nights, I don't think. And I really want to read some of these newer books that are coming out, like 1001 Nights and The Wrath and the Dawn. I want to read this first before I get into that, so maybe I'll do like a whole kind of Arabian themed video. So stay tuned for that. 3 left. Then older books. This is also Reader's Digest. This is The Sea Wolf. My girlfriend gave me an old version of this for her wedding. She did books and wine for her wedding theme, and she gave this book to my husband in the like an older classic edition. And we really want to read it, but we kind of don't want to read that one because we're worried that it'll fall apart, and it's really pretty. So I got this one. This is by Jack London. This is, I believe, is a YA book as well. But these are kind of cool. They have these cool like little Reader's Digest inserts in them. Really beautiful. I got Tell the Wolves I'm Home, thanks to Margot over at Epic Reads. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this one. I'm kind of picky with my contemporary and where they go as well. I believe it is about a young girl who bonds with her uncle's lover, I think, in the 80s, and I think there's AIDS maybe, or something, someone's sick or something. I love the cover of this. I don't think that it's gonna fit with the book, but I'm really excited to read it. I take a lot of recommendations from Margot over at Epic Reads, and she hasn't let me down quite yet, so I got this because it was beautiful and perfect condition. And the last book that I got is Landline from Rainbow Rowell. And Rowell? I have never read anything from Rainbow, and I saw this. It's in perfect condition. It was $1 and I got it. I know this is her adult novel, so maybe not the best place to start, but I think I'm going to marathon, at some point I'm going to marathon Fangirl and Eleanor Park and Carry On and all of those books, and including this one all together, and do a video on that. Maybe you guys can follow me, but it's cool. It's got a nice cover. I like it. Okay, so there are all my 29 books that I got for May. We still have a week left in May, but I have been put on restrictions from my husband to buy any more books. And I hope to be doing a book unhaul soon to kind of like dumb down the list so that I don't just overrun my tiny apartment with books. But if you're going to collect something, books are kind of the way to go. So I know that you guys agree as well. And I just thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for more book themed videos. Thanks. Bye.